Hello world, Agustin Cortez coming live from Web3, and you may notice there's a background difference. I decided to turn off the zoom effect, give the angle a bit more of a eye-to-eye, and change up some things. So today was a very exhausting day. I definitely feel the long-term pull and weight of the intensity of work. So today was an interesting day because it was really around exercising cognition. It's a subjective proof of skill, and it's a really internal introspective process to summon words. So the day was dedicated to articulating thoughts for this new rule of system that pertains to education. And to get to this new rule of system, you have to guide the reader from a linear passage of understanding. And you have to keep it simple. You have to be direct. You have to use very common words, and you can't sound smart. That's the premise. The thing that was going to make you smart is the information. If people read this and validate it, then you did your job as a writer. And it's not an easy thing, especially in a white paper context where this is not a blog, this is not a tweet thread. This is a very serious tone, and the delivery and effectiveness of communication really, really matters. It's not something that is taken lightly. Every single sentence has to be reread and reread. And it's not something that is going to pass and fly by. This is the ultimate sit down of exercising your thoughts and articulating them into words. And it's a very interesting and difficult task because you dig deep, you question identity, you question the pathway that you've been, because you reach a level of depth where you have to summon words from empirical experience and also knowledge. And you don't accumulate knowledge in domains by accident. You have to exercise. So these books have been interfaces for me to develop knowledge. And from all the books, all the writing styles, all the information that I processed and went through stimulus to knowledge to thoughts and so on, it became part of my operating system. So writing this philosophy yet keeping it objective is where the mesh of writing happens, because my objective with this paper is to write in an objective manner the process of education and cognition itself. That's a very difficult thing because for centuries, humanity and philosophers were focused on this duality world of mind, matter, spirit, and other variables. Science now has given us empirical answers on consciousness, this form of attention. And I'm very careful with that word of consciousness. It's just a good vehicle to capture processing stimulus, awareness, and focus through sense and uh, internal development at a neurotransmitter level. So what ends up happening is these fields have been subjective for so long, tying objectivity to it now is a very light area to tread. It's like stepping on glass, because if you state a sentence from a certain framework, you're introducing a philosophical component now, and it taints the entirety of the article, because every sentence should be able to stand on its own. And that's where it becomes a linear progression of understanding. And the goal with the white paper is to get people to read it, understand, process, and get to the conclusion of your theory, for them to grasp it. They don't have to agree with it, but they should be able to grasp it. Just like Bitcoin was introduced. Bitcoin was a white paper that introduced a new consensus mechanism, provided economic procedures to avoid double spend using cryptography and leveraging blockchain technology. And Bitcoin emerged an entire new dimension with blockchain. And that itself is phenomenal. And that's the area that I'm tapping into next. Uh, Education is its own beast, but then tying it to blockchain is fusing it with another monster. Um, I really am tired. Those words sing from the heart, but it's a beautiful experience at the same time. It's like my life work has been called, and it's time to execute on the entirety of development that I've accumulated. And if I do a good job, that means my process of developing myself carries validity. And that's a very bold thing to do, right? Um, Tweeting it today saying I'm writing a white paper, I have to be crazy enough to state it publicly, get people to show interest, and get the job done. So it's no light feat, but for visionaries here, I was thinking about it today. Sometimes certain variables in your life will lead you to gain a touch of awareness where you do develop metacognition internally and you start seeking out, you start becoming autodidact. If you get that first touch of awareness, it allows you to think and question and uh, riff off with your curiosity. That's a beautiful thing. And this is subjective, but it's just a thought that came today and it pertains to the entirety of this with education. Okay, so I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna do a little bit of reading. I have some interesting points to develop further and get ready for the day tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. I thought we were a day behind. I thought today or tomorrow was gonna be Thursday. It's currently 1:48 a.m. So my reference of what day it is swayed. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow. A lot more learning to do, a lot more building, but wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you.